At this point, we're mostly numb to the market's jaw-dropping declines. Oh, but we were down to 974 points today. Typical Wednesday. Takes a lot to surprise us these days, doesn't it? Consider the hideous decline in PVH. The apparel company we like so much is known, well, you know it as Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger. Here's a stock that was trading at 105 at the end of last year. It's now at $32 after plummeting another 13% today. Investors were terrified of what the company might say when it reported. Turns out PVH, it did well this quarter. Company posted a solid top and bottom line beat, despite some slight misses on the margin front. But, and this is the mother of all buts, management also declined to give guidance for the next quarter, for the full year, suspended its dividend and buyback, and also gave some verbiage in the release, which makes me nervous. PVH simply doesn't know when the stores that carry its merchandise will be able to reopen. It's not like you need a new wardrobe when you can't even leave the house. I think it's important to know how they're handling the pandemic. So let's check in with Manny Chirico. He's the straight-shooting chairman and CEO of PVH Corp. Trying to fill in the blanks here. Mr. Chirico, welcome back to Mad Money.
How are you, Jim? I wish we were together. At least we could give each other an elbow bump.
I wish we were together too, Manny. And I love the fact that you came on. I think there were people who said, you know what? Because he's in apparel, I bet he doesn't want to talk. It's the opposite. You come right out. I'm thinking of your company, Manny, as maybe the survivor during this period because of your balance sheet, the revolver you drew down, and I think you got a lot of staying power.
Thanks, Jim. I think that's a pretty accurate picture of us. You know, we have very low leverage overall. We have a very strong balance sheet, about $1.2 billion in cash and available borrowings. We also announced a few months ago that we would be selling our Speedo business, and that'll generate in the month of April another $170 million. So given our overall conservative capital structure, I think we have a tremendous amount of capability to weather the storm. But no retailer, no apparel retailer is built to be shut down. And that's what we basically are right now. We have our online business, but that's doing really well. But our stores in North America, Europe, Asia, and Brazil are closed down because the government's made the right decision to have social distancing.
There are some of the larger department stores. I shuddered. Macy's was eliminated from the S&P 500 yesterday. It's great. It's an institution. They are not built to be shuttered either. How long do you think some of these department stores can stay closed?
Yeah, look, Jim, I think everyone is facing that challenge. I think Macy's, Jeff Gennett and his team is doing what's necessary to weather the storm. They've got substantial assets there that could be cash generating. I mean, I'm not going to speak for them, but clearly they're going to be a survivor when this is all over. And we have a great deal of confidence in that management team and that company that they'll weather the storm.
Manny, when I heard something you guys did, I told my wife, I said, let's go out and buy a lot of Tommy Hilfiger. You came up long when everyone else is coming up short. Personal protective equipment at Montefiore. I read this incredibly sad article in the Journal. Bronx Hospital is probably the #1 most hurt hospital, and you were right there to help them.
Well, look, I'm on the board of Montefiore. That is an unbelievable institution led by Dr. Phil Azow. He's done an amazing job, and they service a community in the Bronx and also in Lower Westchester and some more affluent areas like White Plains Hospital. They do it. All of those, that entire hospital network does an amazing job. Their nurses and doctors are, heroes in my mind for what they're doing during this crisis. And if we can help in a small way using our, sourcing network in the Far East to help bring in first about 1.5 million surgical masks, N95 masks, and 3-ply masks, and also in the pipeline another 5 million masks to help them through this storm. It's our pleasure to do it, and it's our small way of contributing to the effort. And that's why I was down at the hospital making sure that the quality control of the masks that we were bringing in were going to meet the high standards that we have at Montefiore and in our overall healthcare system. So they're my heroes, and anything we could do to help them is great. You're my hero because when you were at Montefiore, you discovered that you are not well, correct? I'm fine, Jim. I discovered that I have the virus because of the testing and because I was going to be present there, and anybody who's going to be in inside the hospital for an extended period of time needs to be tested. So I was tested, and I was kind of shocked when I found out that I was positive. I'm asymptomatic. My wife, who hasn't been tested, but they said 95% sure, also has the virus, has some mild symptoms at this point. And my parents, 90 years old, both of them, live with us in a separate apartment, and we've had to isolate from them. But thank God, knock on wood, we're in a good situation here, and we're a fortunate family. So those healthcare workers, those hospital workers at Montefiore and the other hospitals in New York, they're the real heroes. The policemen, the firemen, the emergency workers going out every day and putting themselves at risk. Whatever we can do to support them.
Well, that has always been the way you handle life, and I think it's fantastic. When we get through on the other side, Manny, what's it going to look like? You've got stores that are in malls where you offer great value, the heritage business. You've got the dominant brand, Tommy Hilfiger, the dominant brand, Calvin Klein. What will things look like when we're finished with COVID-19?
Look, Jim, I think this is going to be a painful process. The president has talked about it. Governor Cuomo here in New York, who's really taken a leadership role, he's talked about it. We're going to go through some pain here for the next month or two. But I think the industry will come through it. There will be, casualties. Secretary Mnuchin talked about that. There's no way to avoid. There will be some levels of bankruptcies. Retail is an industry that's being hit. Apparel retail as a discretionary item is going to be impacted. And I think when you look on the other side, I think, I've always felt that, prior to this, that over the next 5-6 years, our industry would go through some significant consolidation. And I think this is only going to accelerate that consolidation as we go forward. And it probably will accelerate some of the store closings that need to take place. And I think it'll make us a more efficient industry, but there will be pain going through it. There's no doubt about it. My job, I think, is to try to get PVH to the other side. And when I talk about heroes, I talk about the people at PVH that have just done an amazing job, are people who've been taking care of their families, their children that are at home, and at the same time that they're homeschooling and taking care of their kids, they're on the phone with our retail accounts trying to manage the order book for spring and fall. We've got merchandise and inventory coordinators that are trying to deal with the sourcing network in Asia and looking at how we can manage our supply chain. And at the same time, they're dealing with family commitments and they're dealing with elderly parents, but at the same time, getting it done for PVH. When you talk about leadership, that's leadership.
All right.
And I've been so impressed with how our people in North America, Europe, Asia, and Australia have really stepped up and been able to do their jobs from home, been able to take on the burdens that we're all feeling and the stress and pressure we're all feeling in our business life and in our personal life. And I think, that's been a model as we go forward.
Well, Manny, thank you so much. I'm glad that you're feeling well. I'm glad that your team is doing such a remarkable job. And thank you for everybody, because Montefiore is an unbelievable hospital. Great to see you, sir. It's Manny Chirico, Chairman, CEO, PVH.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @JimCramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Kramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.